Hello and welcome to the NESN Soccer Show. I'm Mark, you're Marcus. Starting to feel like Christmas around here, the holiday season. I know I'm excited for the holiday party. How about you, Marcus?
I thought we weren't going to do this.
Oh, yeah, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's not the most exciting thing on my social calendar, but I think I'm going to do it this year.
Yeah.
I've been absent from the company jamboree the past couple years, so yeah, time to change that.
The triumphant return of
2018, the year of change. It's going to start a little early.
The food looks pretty good on the menu,
does,
so.
yes.
But let's jump right into the show. Some soccer talk. Cristiano Ronaldo wins his 5th Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
He's now tied with Lionel Messi. Did he deserve it? What do you think?
Yeah,
I think he deserved it.
It's been, it always comes down to these two, and it has in the last 10 years or so. And the way I like to look at it is, what did they win?
Right.
Ronaldo won La Liga. He won the Champions League. I think Messi had to settle for the Copa del Rey.
Right.
And yeah, had to be Ronaldo. There was no major international tournament to swing it either way for them. Portugal qualified for the World Cup. Fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
Argentina, they left it late, but they
Messi
got in.
kind of carried.
Yeah, thanks to that incredible Messi show. Yeah, it was Ronaldo's to lose again. What I thought was interesting is that at the start of this season, Ronaldo has struggled to score goals in La Liga. He was banned for 5 games for touching the ref.
Right.
And he's doing great in the Champions League, and I think that's what kept him forefront in the voters' minds. But yeah, it was, other than his little stumble at the start of the league, yeah, it's his. Messi's been doing great. Barcelona's been doing great, but they don't hand out trophies this time of year. So
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at La Liga table right now, Barcelona's in first at 39 points, 5 points clear of second place, which is Valencia. Then you have Atletico Madrid in third. Then you have Real Madrid in the 4th place and last spot for European or for Champions League qualification. And they're at 31 points, so 8 points back. 2 losses already in La Liga, while Barcelona has no losses. So yeah, I mean, maybe this year it kind of flips again, but that sort of is the story. But what we were talking about is, at some point, somebody else is going to win this award.
yes.
And could this be the last time we see Messi and Ronaldo win, and they sort of end on 5 each and 10 total trophies?
Not a chance. That this thing ends in a draw? No way.
No way. Somebody's got to win.
Somebody's going to. I think Messi's 2 years younger, but neither of them are showing any signs of getting off that top spot just yet. I thought maybe the only thing that could change it would be if either of them change clubs. Messi just signed a new contract. Ronaldo's contract runs until 2021 or something like that. He's had grumblings about maybe going somewhere else, but I don't see him leaving anytime soon unless Real Madrid goes in a completely different direction, which won't happen this year. Don't think it happens next year. I think we have at least another 2 years of this
2 years.
Messi-Ronaldo dominance of it all.
Well, I mean, if there's going to be somebody else, everybody would say it's got to be Neymar. And he's kind of set up to have a big year with PSG in the knockout rounds of the Champions League, looking very strong. They're probably going to run away with the French league. And then when you look at the World Cup and Brazil, maybe they make a lot of noise at the World Cup, and that also helps his chances at winning the award. But it would take kind of a monumental and just, not that Neymar hasn't already broken out, but like another breakthrough of his talent and ability and his level to kind of steal it from Ronaldo.
I think you're right about the World Cup. The World Cup will probably determine the major awards in 2018. And yeah, Portugal versus Argentina in the final. You heard it here first.
Wait, what? That was not discussed. We were not going to go down that road.
It's the Messi-Ronaldo show.
I would be all for that. That would be fantastic.
Yeah. The brawl for it all.
Yeah, I think it's a lot to keep your eye on. Just kind of the tail end of Messi, Ronaldo in this sort of era that we've been in and still in the midst of. But And very much in the midst of that has been Champions League action, and them going at it in Champions League. They just took their draw for the round of 16. Some very interesting matchups. Let's start with Tottenham versus Juventus. Now, Tottenham fans, Man City's kind of running away with the Premier League. So all the focus is sort of right on Champions League. That's kind of the biggest trophy possible to win, the most important one. When you draw Juventus, I think initially you probably think, oh no, we've drawn Juventus, Champions League runners-up recently, very strong side. But I think, not that Juventus has taken enormous steps back by any means, but I think they've taken a step back from last year and aren't necessarily these world beaters that I think every club needs to fear going up against. I think Tottenham has a really good chance to win this match, or these two legs.
Yeah, it's tough to say right now. Here we are in mid-December.
Yeah.
These things won't happen for another 2 months, so
could be new players.
Everything can change. Yeah. I don't see the squads changing that much, but just in terms of form and injuries and who comes out of that, that winter muck, the better. Tottenham will be playing their way through it. Juventus will have a nice winter break where they'll retool and get ready for an assault on Serie A, which I'm not sure at this point if they're still.
It has commenced
or not. Yeah,
but their assault has commenced.
Tottenham should be. They should be confident knowing that they beat Dortmund, they beat Real Madrid. They've gone up against some big boys in the Champions League and fared well.
Scared of no one.
The problem with Juventus is that they have a bit of know-how that I'm not sure Tottenham will be set up to deal with. I think Tottenham will try and play their game and press them all over the field, and Juventus will pick them apart because they're an Italian club and there's an intelligence that comes with being at the top of the Italian game that maybe your English teams don't quite have just yet.
Well, they do have 5 clubs in the knockout rounds, which is another. I just think that
it's the round of 16.
Yeah,
it's not,
all right,
that's half the field.
Yeah, it is half the field. You're right. Next match, we got Chelsea versus Barcelona, another English club.
Yeah.
I like Barcelona here. I think this is part of the Messi. He wants to take back his Ballon d'Or trophy, as we were talking about. But what sticks out to you in this matchup?
Chelsea has a better chance of beating Barcelona than Tottenham does Juventus.
You think so?
I think so, yeah. Barcelona's history against English sides is great, except for Chelsea. Chelsea knocked them out in 2012, I believe, with that Fernando Torres goal. That was the coming off of Barcelona's treble-winning season. There's only, I think, one major holdover from that team, Gary Cahill, but this Chelsea team, they're strong. Everybody's fading away from Manchester City in the Premier League, so there's this extra importance that is going to be placed on the Champions League as a trophy that they can possibly win. And when they're at their best, I think Chelsea will give Barcelona a very tough game. They won't be intimidated or awe-inspired. Messi, I think, has played 8 times against Chelsea and never scored. So,
really?
Yeah, there are reasons for Chelsea to like their chances against Barcelona, but of course they have to go out and do the job. And it'll be tough to see what their chances are, 2 months ahead of time. But yeah, it'll be one to watch. This round of 16 draw has been epic, really, for these 3 matchups. The third of which we are going to.
Well, we go from Messi to Ronaldo once again, as is tradition. Real Madrid versus Paris Saint-Germain. This has the biggest star power, I think, when you look at the names on both squads. I think everybody will talk about Ronaldo and Neymar, but we'll talk about Gareth Bale a little later and how important he is to Real Madrid, a healthy Gareth Bale. And I also am excited for Kylian Mbappe, who, he's been playing for PSG all year and been playing very well, but now he's really in a gigantic, huge match. And I'm excited to see how he performs.
This Real Madrid PSG would have been a great final. And
Yeah,
we're getting,
exactly.
we're getting 2 of those 3 months ahead of schedule. When UEFA drew these teams together, it was wow.
Yeah.
Of the last 4 teams we've discussed, I think 3 of them are among the favorites to win the Champions League. And that's both at the start of the season and after the group stage. Chelsea you can put as a long favorite, but yeah, Real Madrid, PSG, I can't see how the Champions League gets bigger than this, and I have a feeling everything that comes after will pale in comparison. Money, star power, lights, glitz, glamour.
It's interesting because when we talked about if Neymar could possibly by any means creep into the award talks and leapfrog both Ronaldo and Messi, if you knock out Ronaldo in the Champions League and then maybe come up against Barcelona and they are able to beat them, that could go a long way in determining if Neymar should win the award.
Yeah.
So just another layer of that. But those are sort of the big ones, the sort of the can't miss of the round of 16. It ends up being, I mean, there's a lot of matches to watch still in the round of 16.
And it drags on for,
right.
I think, 3 weeks it goes. They stagger them. One set plays 1 week, another set plays the other week.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to be like the only one watching Roma versus Shakhtar. But that's okay.
Yes.
I'll keep everyone posted. It was a good draw for Roma, really good draw. But moving right along, we kind of stick with Real Madrid. It's a Real Madrid show here today. But the 2017 Club World Cup, I feel like the Club World Cup comes around every year, and people are kind of like, why is this important? There's the Champions League winner in it, and they seem to always win for the most part, but not always. And it's like, how important is it? What does it matter? And I'll leave that question to you. How important is the Club World Cup?
It depends on where you are and who you follow. For the European teams, the Club World Cup is just, it's often just an extra trophy to win, not the hardest trophy to win. Winning the Champions League is generally the highlight of the season.
Yeah.
You don't have parades if you win the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
You have massive parades if you win the Champions League. If you are in South America or outside of Europe, it is the biggest thing you can do.
Yeah.
It's very prestigious, and this goes back to the old Toyota Cup, which is the forerunner of the Club World Cup, where they used to have the winner of the Copa Libertadores in South America face off against the European Cup or Champions League winner.
Yeah.
And yeah, in South America, they always took that a little bit more seriously because you could say we are the world champions.
Yeah.
And, you know, the long-standing rivalry between Europe and South America. Yeah. I'm not sure if Europe has taken it as seriously as the South Americans. So, yeah, it's important. It's prestigious. You get to wear a world champion patch on your jersey for a year. And it's good to win. The European team usually takes it unless they don't. And I think 2012 was the last time it happened.
Well, okay, so in the semifinals this time around, Gremio edges Pachuca in the semifinals, 1-0 in extra time.
I left an H in there. Pachuca. Yeah.
But so a Mexican club eliminated in the semifinals.
Again.
Yeah. Why? All right, you made a note of this and you want to talk about this. Why is it important for Mexico to do well in this tournament?
Because it shows how much their league is progressing, and how good they are in this hemisphere, in the Americas. The Mexican league isn't far away from being, let's call it, the top league in the Americas.
And not just North America.
Not just North America, no. Yeah. But it would take star players and winning these major competitions. Mexican teams used to participate in the Copa Libertadores and fared fairly well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this league championship, or this Club World Cup, Mexican teams can, and they always seem to win in CONCACAF. Toronto could change that next year. We'll see.
Yeah.
But they always seem to be able to navigate that entry game, and then they get semifinal against either the European team or the South American team and always lose. I think this year, around the 70-something minute, Pachuca and Gremio were tied 0-0, And there was a tweet that I saw that said, "This is the best a Mexican team has ever done so far, taking this game to this point, tied. They didn't score, had a couple chances, but just missing that little bit of ruthlessness in the final third."
Yeah.
And then they had extra time where, look, they gave up a great goal to Everton, and U.S. international Omar Gonzalez was on the field, and he was kind of backing off his man, who ended up putting it in the top corner. So
it's unfortunate.
yeah, another tough loss for the Mexican team.
All right. Well, in the other semifinal, Real Madrid kind of had a tougher time than most people think they might have.
Yeah.
Took Gareth Bale scoring on his first touch to give him the winner, Cristiano Ronaldo with the equalizer. But they were losing this match, 1-0. Kind of a surprise, upset watch, as you said. And do you think it was just Real Madrid maybe not taking the tournament too seriously, not taking the match too seriously, or what?
I think they were probably the last team to arrive in the United Arab Emirates for this tournament. It runs about a week or two, but Real Madrid they had a league game on the weekend and then fly to the Middle East. It takes a few days to get your legs under you when you take a trip of that distance, and maybe they weren't at their best. They certainly weren't at their best if they went down 1-0, but over the course of 90 minutes, there's no team out there that should be beating Real Madrid from outside Europe.
Right. But we mentioned Gareth Bale scored on his first touch.
Yeah.
We mentioned kind of his maybe underrated value, or just maybe a healthy Gareth Bale is the kind of player, like in addition to Ronaldo, that takes Real Madrid to Champions League victory, success, that level.
Yeah.
How important is he to Real Madrid and to staying healthy throughout the whole year?
Bale is ultra important because he is the Robin to Ronaldo's Batman or something like that. He's he's the ultimate sidekick. And I think when they signed him, there was maybe this idea that he would replace Ronaldo one day.
No.
Ronaldo was, he's not going anywhere, and he's declared that. Real Madrid is at their best when Gareth Bale is healthy and firing. The problem with Bale, and this has complicated his relationship, not sure with the club, but certainly with the fans, is that he is always injured.
Yeah.
Calf injury, hamstring injury. He's played just 756 minutes over 11 games this season. Real Madrid has played 15 league games, 6 Champions League games, Spanish Super Cup, Copa del Rey. They played so many games, and
Club World Cup.
Bale has missed most of it.
Yeah.
And Real Madrid struggles. They're in 4th right now.
Right.
They didn't win their Champions League group. You can attribute that to Bale's absence.
Yeah.
He's one of their top players, certainly. He's formed one of the 1/3 of the most fearsome front three that exists right now in the world. And with him out, Real Madrid's just not as good as they otherwise would be.
Yeah, and that probably is not only, like, they didn't win their group in Champions League, and kind of got lucky with Dortmund really not performing well at all.
Yeah.
And weren't
so bad they fired their coach.
Right, they weren't under much pressure
Yeah.
as far as qualifying for the knockout rounds. And they're sitting in 4th in La Liga, which is, low. That's too low for them.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be neck and neck with Barcelona, and they're 8 points off the pace. But the Club World Cup final, as we get into the top games of the weekend, is Real Madrid versus Gremio in the final on Saturday at noon in Abu Dhabi. What do you expect out of this match? I mean, I guess we expect Real Madrid to take the cup.
I do, yeah. Gremio's got a couple players that are in the crosshairs of European scouts, and I think Artur is a player to watch in their midfield. He's pulling the strings, but Real Madrid's going to have too much quality. They'll be rested, and I have a feeling they'll come out and score at least 3 against Gremio, defend their world championship, because they're that good. There's a gulf in class between the best in Europe and the best in South America.
Sure.
And I don't think it gets much bigger than this.
When was the last time was Neymar won the Club World Cup when he was on his South American?
I don't believe he did.
Or did he just
no,
score a goal?
Chelsea lost to Santos. Not Santos. Chelsea lost to Corinthians.
Yeah.
I think in 2012, and they were the last European team not to win the Club World Cup. But generally, it's, the South American team will make it tough for 60 minutes or something like that. But
Yeah.
over the span of 90 minutes, when you have too much quality on the field, it's hard for anyone to keep up.
Yeah. And if you're not too pumped about the Club World Cup, there's still some quality Premier League action going on. We got Manchester City versus Tottenham, 12:30 on Saturday. Manchester City continues their dominant march through Premier League and through England. They really are not having much trouble at all. They're starting to really run away with it after beating Man United last weekend. And I guess this is a home match for them. I'd expect them to take care of business with Tottenham.
Manchester City just set the record yesterday for longest winning streak in England's first division or Premier League. 15 straight games.
It's insane.
It's incredible. I guess we can sit here and crown them champions. They've got, I think, 11-point lead right now, and they've really shown no signs of anybody stopping them. If anybody can stop Manchester City, I guess it's Tottenham. And I think last week we said if anybody can stop Manchester City, it's Manchester United. Yeah, it's the exact same thing I said a week ago.
Well, at some point they have to have an off day, right? An off weekend.
They haven't had one in 15, or they have, but
they still managed to win.
Yeah, Tottenham will make it tough for them. Tottenham look like they're starting to turn around their league form and move up a little bit, but yeah, I don't see them getting anywhere close to Manchester City, which does not bode well for the rest of the league, because every time City goes up against one of the quote-unquote big six, they make it fairly straightforward.
I think that they're playing so well right now that I don't expect them to lose before the break. And then after the break, it just, maybe there's some new players in different places, but or maybe they come back and they're a little out of form. But
do you expect them to draw?
No, I don't. I expect them to keep winning and extend their win streak. Which there's not too many matches left.
There's a number before New Year's.
Yeah. Well, let's not get hung up on it because we want to keep our show tight. But
Manchester City, they're great. Right now.
Right now. And
they don't give out trophies in December, though.
No.
Unless it's the FIFA Club World Cup, which you have to win the Champions League to get in.
Yeah. But moving on to our final word. You got something for us?
I do, yes.
I think you do.
I have a shout out to the Nipmunk boys varsity soccer team out of Upton, Massachusetts. They won the Division III state championship. Congratulations.
There you go. Way to go, guys. My final word is just going back to the Man City-Man United match. The little brawl that apparently took place.
Wasn't that little.
After the match, in the locker room, changing area, hallway, between the two clubs and between stadium employees, I guess.
I think there were 2 cops among the 30 people that were involved in that.
Yeah, a lot of separation.
That sounds chaotic.
Maybe some food tossing or beverage tossing.
Yeah, there were projectiles. Bottles of milk and water being thrown.
Somebody came away bloody, I believe.
Yeah. Manchester City assistant coach Mikel Arteta had a cut above his eye.
I like it. Not something that needs to happen every weekend, but every once in a while, let there be a little locker room brawl going on.
And it was all over Manchester City celebrating too.
Yeah, they were celebrating too loud. In the locker room, though.
In the locker room at Old Trafford.
That just shows me that, these guys are pissed off about losing this match, even though Manchester City is playing as well as they are and clearly the best team in the league right now. It doesn't matter. You can't celebrate like that in your locker room, which, if there is any place to celebrate, it's probably in the locker room.
Sure you can.
Yeah.
celebrate as loud as you want.
But they're just upset. They're mad. They're pissed, and they just want to throw down. I love
who
it.
started it all? Jose Mourinho. Yeah, he's like the Pied Piper at Man United.
Do you think this was a tactic by him? It's like, I'm not going to yell at my team. I'm going to go yell at the other team and show them what you need to do, or how your mindset needs to be.
Yeah. Everything Mourinho does is calculated,
Yeah.
And I think this is just another one where his team were down after losing and being thoroughly outplayed over 90 minutes, and he goes into the locker room of the opposing team and says, "Hey, you guys show some respect. Tone it down." And he knew things were going to kick off from there. So, good for him.
Well, I think that was a good show, and we'll be back next week. I think we're going to look ahead maybe to the transfer window in January, maybe some U.S. soccer updates on all the different things going on there, and we'll be talking a little bit more European soccer. So, thanks for joining us this week. Come on back next week. Follow the podcast, NESN.com/podcast, YouTube.com/NESN, iTunes/NESN. I haven't done that in a while.
SoundCloud?
No SoundCloud. No SoundCloud. You get it at iTunes. All right. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.